Okay, hello there, making an Oriemo PSP English patch tutorial for Dizzy Zitty with the physical copy of the game instead of the digital one like they already have. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. There's a few things you'll have to have. You obviously have to have a PSP with custom firmware. I'll give you a link to how to do all that. I actually have the PSP 1000 generation. You also need a data and power USB cable. You must have the 2-disc set and not the individual sets. I'll give links to all of these things in the description, as well as you'll also need a at least 4 GB memory card, because the standard one that came with it sadly is not big enough to hold all of this. And finally, the English patch. Yeah, I'll give links to how to upgrade your PSP to the actual firmware from Sony, as well as how to do the custom firmware itself, as both of these videos slash web pages are pretty good, and the ones that I just used because I had to do both of these things as I just bought the PSP. An important side note here is that you need to do the Sony official firmware first before you do the custom firmware. It doesn't appear like that's shown in Holmes' video there, but okay, so now we have the custom firmware properly installed onto the PSP. We need to get out the first disc of the game and insert it here real quick. We'll have to go open the VSH menu, scroll down to USB device, and turn over to UMD disk instead of the memory stick. Go all the way over to settings into USB connection again. Start that up. Should bring up the thing to open the folder to view the files. And what it should show you is the actual UMD disk instead of the memory stick. And we'll just take it and copy it over to the desktop. As you see, I've already done. It does take quite a while to do this way. I would say at least 30 minutes. And wait for that to be done. Alright, so we just fast forwarded in time until we already got the ISO over here. So now that that's done, we don't need this anymore. We can just pull up the patch from Dizzy's site. It already tells you how to patch in here if you don't know, but all you would have to do is take the ISO that you have, drag it over to this Windows batch file. It's going to bring up a menu like this. Also, this does take a while to do as well. We'll just have to wait for it to be done here for a little bit, and I will wait and come back to you when it's done. Okay, it's all done now, and as you can see, here's the English version of the game. And so now we'll have to get out of the USB mode on our PSP, go back into the VSH menu, scroll down to USB device and go to back to memory stick. Go back into our USB connection. Should pop up the thing again. We will just move it over here so we can see. You'll need an ISO folder right here on the main thing of the memory stick. If you don't have one, you can just make one by going new folder and labeling it ISO. And so we're just going to take this patch and put it right into that ISO. It'll take a little bit, probably about 3 or 4 minutes depending. And then it should be ready to be played on your PSP. I'll be back to you when it's all the way done. Alright, and it just told me that everything was done. So now we can get out of USB mode. We don't need this on our screen anymore. We'll actually eject the disk itself. We won't need that anymore. We can put that all the way back up. Should be, that's it. We'll scroll over to game. We'll scroll down to memory stick. Click that, and then you should be able to see the fan translation and be able to play.